What is up? And welcome to another episode of the All Basketball Podcast. And I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. Once again, back before you, but in the new year, 2024. Wow, but this isn't an episode of another volume of just my thoughts, because you see just me if you're watching visually. But behind me, you do see the North Carolina jersey matching my age at the current moment. So that means it's time to talk about Carolina basketball. And this is the first episode of Carolina Got Something to Say. If you're familiar with hip hop, that phrase was coined famously by Andre of Outkast back in 1995 at the Source Awards. He said he was on stage and they were booming. He said, the South got something to say, that's all I got to say. So I kind of took from that and changed it to Carolina got something to say, because I'm from North Carolina, the great state, specifically Wilmington on the coast. I'm a big time, huge Carolina fan for years now. And this episode within the umbrella of the All Basketball Podcast is going to be solely dedicated to talking about Carolina, Duke 2, the hated rival, and just going to be pretty much all college basketball. And we're in the thick of the season as far as college basketball. Conference play is starting to get going early January, so it's really only a couple of months left for that sport before we hit March Madness and everybody be tuning in. But I'm tuning in now. I'm tuning in regularly when Carolina's on ESPN or say CBS, but whenever I can, I'm tuning in. And this is going to be this specific show is going to be catered to that, and it won't just be just me. Definitely probably going to have Mike on at some point, representing Garner, Raleigh area, and my homeboy Wilmington, who's also from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina and Wilmington specifically. But that's what you're going to be getting here. Sometimes just me, but hopefully me and other guests just chopping it up, man, talking about Carolina and Duke basketball, because we're from Carolina and we got something to say. And as far as the Tar Heels, they're looking pretty good right now. Ranked in the top 10, number 8 specifically at the moment, coming off a nice road win over Clemson, who was also ranked a little lower than them. Gritty game, 65-55 was the final of that. You had guys step up with Baycott getting his usual double-double. Davis helping them out. Those two guys are back to lead the charge of a more experienced team because of all the transfers in due to this transfer portal thing, this phase of college basketball that's taking over at the moment. I mean, it's just, you don't have big impact freshmen coming in, not as many. Now you have guys just who aren't ready to go to the NBA or overseas. Maybe they're getting extra COVID a year. They still have eligibility. They're just like, well, I'm going to go and play at another school. And Carolina has inherited a handful of transfers, specifically Harrison Ingram, who has had experience coming from Stanford. Cormac Ryan, what a name, Cormac. I'm not sure specifically where he came from at the moment. I can't remember, but where he last played, but he's a transfer in. Then you have Wojcik off the bench, another transfer. Withers transfer from Louisville. So then we also had Washington and Trimble returning, but so I mean, Hubert Davis and staff were able to take advantage of what they can get out of the transfer portal and bring in a couple of freshmen who also play, like Elliott Cadeau starts, and Zayden High, who's long, looking to block shots. Just has to play a little smarter, but he's a freshman. You can't expect too much of him because I wouldn't assume that he's that highly talented, but he'll start to learn the speed, the college game, and everything like that. But just able to give us some minutes when Baker gets in foul trouble, or Baker may not be playing that well, but good backup for him. But yeah, I mean, a good road win over Clemson. A lot of those guys from Clemson I've seen play when they were in high school. Chase and Dylan Hunter at Westlake, and I saw RJ Godfrey at North Gwinnett. So I grew with them in high school, so it's kind of wild to see them on the next level, getting burned and making a solid contribution. So we're able to beat Clemson on this 3-game road trip we got. We started off beating Pitt. That was a little rough. Beat them in the first true road game, and then up next we got NC State Wednesday. So I'm sure the guys going to be focused and pumped up for that. I know NC State will, because they look at us as a bigger rival than we look at them, but they're going to want to try to protect home court, because as Henry could probably tell you, he went to State. When he was there, it was just all about beating Carolina. When Carolina's probably more so worried about Duke, and vice versa there. But in State, those Wolfpack, they were looking to beat us. But yes, we beat Pitt, Clemson yesterday, Saturday, so it's 4 straight. And Carolina's kind of been a good road win. I'm not as crazy as Mike about. Well, I see the one benefit of winning on the road. Just, I guess you build some character, you show resiliency, as many like to say. I mean, and obviously, if you want to have a winning record, a record better than 500, you want to try to win most of your road games. You're not going to win them all. You want to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, as far as the standings, but then the tougher teams, hey, you may steal one, you may not. Like you're rarely going to steal one at Duke. We was getting one at State for a while, but like I said, if we have to play down in Miami, we may not be able to steal one, but good teams, you're more than likely not going to win on their home court. But it is a good way to show resiliency, and it prepares you for tough competition down the line. But I think one thing Carolina did this season that will come into play, even have a bigger, will help them more in the long run, was all the neutral site games they played. Even though we lost to UConn and Kentucky, I didn't see the Kentucky game, but by the score I can see it was close. UConn was the defending champions. Good game for most part, but their size, they still got some guys who can light it up. And I think that game was in New York at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, they just they got the best of us. And then we close battle against Villanova that we lost, another neutral site game by 2 in overtime. Ironically, I think he's number 43 for Villanova. Guy Dixon, he had quite a game that game. Senior, left-handed, bulky player. Looks more like a football player than anything. But he had, he shot it well. He kind of gave us the business that night. Aaron Dixon, does wear number 43. which is from Pennsylvania. I don't think I'm kin to him, but had a good game, and so they managed to beat Carolina at that neutral site game. I won that game too because I'm pretty sure that was the first time we played them since Jenkins made that shot in 2016 final, in that classic game when you had Marcus Page and Meeks and Bryce Johnson, and Arcidiacono handed it right off to Jenkins, and he just barely at the buzzer. Game time. I mean, that one will always hurt, but yeah, I wanted that game somewhat for that reason, even though it's not. We can never get back that shot by Jenkins going in. We can't change that part of history, but just to say when they finally got in that rematch, that we got him back, if that was the first, and I'm pretty sure that was the first time we played against them since then. But yeah, this team is overall, this team has been impressive. I didn't have any expectations coming into the season. I don't know if you did. Let me know. A lot of guys left. Kind of hurt to see Love leave, but just wasn't the best fit. I mean, he took a lot of bad shots. He was 1 minute he was saving us. I mean, I'll always be grateful for what he did against Duke in the Final Four, to retire Coach K and propel us to the championship game that we lost to Kansas. But he felt it was time to go for whatever reason, and he's at Arizona. They're playing well. He went back to Duke with Arizona and beat Duke and Cameron. So and I know Carolina fans, most fans who feel like I feel about Love probably say, well, yeah, he got Duke again. So, but Johnson moved on to Penn State. Black went to the NBA. Nance went on out of eligibility. So those guys we lost last year, we had those expectations coming in. Number one Sports Illustrated cover. Barely played 500 ball. Just bad. I mean, hated it went down that way, but it's good to see the program's back in good standing. Like I said, the transfers who came in playing well. I really like what Ingram brings to the table. Davis is still consistent. Baycott's still consistent. As far as rebound, I know he's moving up in the. It's his 5th year. He's moving up in the standings for all-time point. I know he hit is he 5th? I should have confirmed that, but he's moving up in the standings as far as points. I know he already has the double-double record for the school, so jersey will definitely be retired. I mean, hopefully they can make a good run this year, get in, make a good run, and erase all the bad memories of last season, because with those expectations, it was rough. It was a rough season, and I still stand on the fact that they shouldn't have even accepted the NIT bid. Just it was so bad. There was so much criticism just going, and when the season ended, just after the ACC tournament, just that's it. Move on. Whoever wants to leave, go ahead and get out of there. And now we got other guys in who are making a big effort. More shooting. Davis has continued to improve his output, increasing his scoring average every year, taking good shots. Our best shooter, Cormac Ryan, he's another one. I think Wojcik has some range too. And Ingram hit some big shots too. Hasn't been playing that well on the road these past 2 games, but still playing good defense, hustling, hit some timely shots. So this team is built out right, and they're moving the ball well. So we'll see how far. It's going to be interesting to see how far they go. Hopefully they can go far. As everyone knows, guard play in the tournament is big, and we got probably the best guard in the nation. I mean, well, definitely one of them with RJ Davis playing with supreme confidence, and looking to score in this era of basketball where your point guard is scoring, everyone and able to stretch the floor, then everyone has to respect it. I mean, the game is played from outside in to an extent, even the college game. But pleased with what I've seen with my boys, the boys in blue so far, and like I said, those neutral site games, I think should help us because in March it's all neutral site. You just have to. It's just one and done at that point. I mean, you have to keep winning to advance. It's little margin for error, so they playing well. Well, yeah, we're currently first in the ACC, so we're tied with NC State, so who will play Wednesday, the 10th. So it's 6 teams with 11 wins, 7 teams. We just beat Clemson, and we got State next, so we'll see if we can keep the conference record perfect, improve to 4-0. Haven't seen much of State. I'll see them Wednesday, obviously, so we'll see what they're working with. As far as the enemy, Duke, saw them a little. Seemed to struggle yesterday, but Mark Mitchell stepped up and they were able to win at Pitt. It was looking like they were going to maybe drop that one. It was close, and Filipowski wasn't playing his best. I'm sorry, they were playing at Notre Dame, so won by 8. Mitchell with 23. But they got Mitchell back, Filipowski back, Roach is back, Proctor is back. Surprised he didn't start yesterday. I don't know if that's a regular thing, but he didn't do much. I don't even think he scored. But now they from their new guys. One guy noticed McCain, freshman out of Sacramento, Jared McCain. Game against Syracuse, I did see a good bit of that game. He seemed to light it up from the outside. He made 2 of 9 attempts against Notre Dame, so I'm gonna have to watch out for him because it seems like he can stroke from the outside if he gets hot. So Duke on a road game. They lost to Tech, Georgia Tech, so kind of surprised to see that, but I guess Filipowski's been struggling, so hasn't been filling it up in the scoring column, so we'll see if he gets that going better, but not shooting well from 3, but still averaging about 17 points a game, but against Pittsburgh, I mean, ice cold, about 17%, 7 points. He had 2 blocks, 5 boards, 4 assists, so Duke will be right there as usual. They so I'll watch them when I can, at least now if they're in a close game, I'll watch them, but if they're starting to whip somebody, I'll just turn it. I mean, that's just how much hate I have. I mean, I literally would have to be paid to watch them whip a team or be dominant the whole game. You're gonna have to pay me to watch it and write up a game story or create a highlight. I'm not going to sit there and watch it. Now, if they're playing Carolina and they're winning, I mean, even if we don't so much have a chance, I'll watch it all the way to the end. Unless it just gets, even probably if it gets out of hand, I mean, still watch it, but Duke's gonna be there more than likely. They got the talent. They hopefully stay focused. They have Cooper Flagg coming in next year, so it'll be interesting to see how many of their good players stay around to play with him. Because I'm pretty sure he's gonna be one and done. And from as far as what I've seen from him on highlights, I haven't been able to watch a whole game, but he got some skill. Going to the hole aggressively. I don't know how much top competition he's played against, but and able to shoot it from the outside. Kind of new age big guy, but we'll see what we'll see him next year in the Duke uniform. As far as the rest of the landscape of college basketball, people stuff here and there. You got Zach Edey at Purdue, they're still one. UConn's top 10. Kentucky, who beat us there, ranked and probably looking as legit as they've looked in the past. Somebody else, Houston. Houston's still having a good run, so a lot of good teams out there. Obviously haven't been able to see them all, but been able to see whenever I get the chance, I try to, if it's a ranked matchup on, I'll definitely tune in to see about the talent at hand. I know it isn't where it used to be. A lot of the players are coming from overseas, top talent, but there's still some talent in college basketball. Some guys will rise to the top and continue to have a career that many may didn't think they would have, or a career in the NBA. You got Kansas at 2. I didn't see the Harrisburg. They had a controversial game yesterday against their opponent. I think it was TCU. Controversial flagrant foul or something. Got a little home cooking, and they were able to pull out that game. That was TCU 83-81. So a lot of basketball left to be played. Tennessee's in 5th right now. We played a shootout against them. I mean, we were ahead by a lot. They kind of tried to storm back, but I think 100-92 final, but beat them for their top team. So that was a neutral site game. So we fared well the neutral site games. We gave Oklahoma their first loss. That was in Charlotte. So the neutral site games have worked to our advantage, and we haven't won them all, but we've been competitive in all of them, I would say. And just by seeing the game, I think they've been rightly competitive, and they've handled that part of the schedule, because I don't think, obviously, there are not going to be many more neutral site games. It's going to be all home and away, so hopefully they can protect home court when they get back there, and like they say in the NBA, win more than half your road games. That's all you can expect. I mean, and it's tough to win on the road in college basketball. A lot of people know that atmosphere and the energy that crowd, those student sections bring, and the energy they give to the players. The home team is, I mean, plays a huge part when a few shots go in and the crowd is cheering when those shots go in, and you're the other team, and when your shots miss, that volume goes up at that arena, and the other team comes down and gets a bucket or a big dunk. That place is going crazy. It gets hard to play a effectively and hard to execute effectively. So it does play a huge part in the college game. And if you can get, like I said, if you can get some on the road, I mean, it shows you're a resilient bunch, and it only adds to what you're able to bring come tournament time, when there's not much room for error, and it's a neutral site game, and you're going to get as much. It's going to be pretty balanced as far as cheers you get and the boos you get on the other end. But just want Carolina to keep doing that, keep going in the direction they're going, and be a good bounce back season. I'm not saying we have to win the title, but just to bounce back, make a decent tournament run, and try to get another championship. Because what was it? Yeah, 17. So it'll be roughly 7 years. How do you look at it? 7 seasons, 7 seasons. So, and don't get swept by Duke. At least get a split. Because after we knocked them out the tournament, in our first ever meeting, they came back with that sweep. But the game of Chapel Hill was close. We just couldn't. We could just made a few shots. I mean, been on. If Love would have had one of those one of the games of his life, probably would have won it easy. But wasn't making shots and kept shooting, and we didn't have many options besides Davis and Bacon. I mean, team last year, a lot of those guys just couldn't make open shots, they couldn't create for themselves. But this team is deeper, more balanced, and seems like they know they can trust each other. So all good things. So, but that's my time. Like I said, this is the first episode of Carolina Got Something to Say, mainly focusing on college basketball, Carolina, Duke, and maybe fitting in a few other topics here and there. But next time, hope to have guests on my Carolina brethren. But just gonna get my thoughts about what happened or what I think will happen. So once again, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. This is the All Basketball Podcast, first edition of Carolina Got Something to Say. Till next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.